I am trying to visit every country in the world, and today I'm in Australia with Cody Harrington.
He looked my way, he looked my way!
We're here doing the most amazing podcast in the world.
That's the introduction. Thank you, Luca. Luca, I was gonna write your last name. And you told me yesterday, how do you say your last name?
Pferdminges.
Mingus.
But don't worry, it's even difficult for Germans because
The
that's
German
like,
travel guy.
Yeah,
Is that why you went hashtag the German travel guy?
Kind of. It's just more memorable. It's just really more memorable. Like before on Instagram, my username was like LXCAP or something.
Yeah.
And like it was short and kind of clean because it was so short, like just 5 letters. But the German travel guy is so like, you're the German travel guy. Like it
German
just makes sense. It's pretty long and bulky, but it's still kind of clean. Like it's very specific.
All right, that wasn't planned. So riffing. 5 world records, 2.7 million TikTok followers, author of 2 books, Forbes 30 for 30, incredible, and you visited 170 of 195 countries in the world.
71 now.
And by the time I upload this, you've probably done them all.
Probably not, but...
The coolest problem, Luca's staying the night, and he's not sure if he's going to Samoa today or tomorrow. Like, that's a cool problem to have.
That's true, yeah, it's very spontaneous, my trips, usually. So I'm doing the whole Pacific trip right now, and so I'm missing 24 countries in total, most of which are either Pacific islands or some kind of difficult visas to get to for Africa.
It's crazy.
So yeah, it's a fun journey.
What's funny is last night when we were just talking in the kitchen, I was telling you about like things to do in New Zealand and go, and I'm thinking, I want to do like a sarcastic remark and just be like, one day you'll be like well-traveled, Luca, like one day. So it was pretty cool to tell you like, yeah, you got to go to Rotorua. It's really cool and la la la. But then I realized, yeah, I mean, you've done 171 of 195. I've probably done 5.
Yeah, but can you imagine? I've never visited Australia before. Like
That's
it was
crazy.
country 168.
Yeah,
like that's ridiculous.
Well, that's what I've written down. I was like, you've left us to 168.
Yeah.
Unbelievable, because you've come close before.
I went all the way to Timor-Leste, which is like 200 kilometers off Australia.
And then you turned around and went back home.
And I went back home. I was like,
nah,
not yet.
Crazy. Because I used to follow, and I never wanted to, I did ask every now and then and be like, when's Australia, when's Australia? But I remember thinking like, you're right here. You have to come now. Yeah. But then I didn't take in, this would be the hardest stretch of the whole Earth.
It's the most it's not the hardest, but the most expensive one for sure. Because the distances are huge, and the flights are ridiculously expensive.
Yeah.
So you really need to have Australia as a base to do the Pacific. So never before has it made like sense to actually be in Australia, because I'd have to go back and forth anyway.
Yeah.
So I can only do the Pacific Islands by being on Australia. So yeah, so I had to kind of postpone it.
Crazy. And I joked yesterday that it's country 168.
Yeah.
And you told me that it's top 2 and it's not 2. What would you actually rank Australia? Be honest. It won't hurt me. It won't hurt me.
No. So for me, there's a difference between living somewhere and visiting, right? So I'm quite an adventurous person, and I don't think like visiting, like for example, when I'm in Papua New Guinea some days ago or something, that's like I wouldn't want to necessarily visit there, and I wouldn't want to live there. Certainly not either. And Australia must be very, very high on this like lifestyle wise. Like it's amazing for to live here. Though I probably wouldn't want to because it's so remote. Like I see myself more in Europe, but like the comfort that you have here is amazing. You can like drive what we did yesterday, 30 minutes inland. You have amazing nature. You have everything. We literally saw wild kangaroos yesterday. That was amazing. So
I promised you wild kangaroos, and that was a stretch because people think they're everywhere. They're really not everywhere. So it was a bit of a high risk that I promised you, but we found them pretty quick.
No, so living here is very, very high.
Yeah.
Just for visiting, it's just too expensive for me, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like I'm paying 50 euros or something for a hostel in a 10-bed dormitory on the Gold Coast because it's so like saturated, the market, especially now in high season, to be fair. But it's very, very expensive to visit. Though for living, it's amazing, I'm sure. Like,
yeah.
It's
you're
fun.
right.
It's fun to be here, you know, when you have connections, when you can just sleep at Cody's place. I think everyone who wants to visit Australia should message Cody. Get a comfortable room
Why
for
not?
free.
Just send me a message and come down. Stay as long as you want.
50 quid.
No, stay as long as you want.
No, it's awesome. It's awesome. I'm not sure about top one, how you said yesterday, but it's very high up there.
What would
it's just
be
remote? It's just really remote.
I know.
You know?
It hurts when you say that because it's
I
so
know,
true.
I know.
It does hurt me.
And he complained yesterday in the car all the time. I was it's so remote. I can't go to London. It takes me like 3 planes. It's true. It's true. Yeah.
I know. It's ridiculous. But then I remember thinking when I was walking around London, I do remember thinking, now I've seen it and experienced it. I absolutely love it. Sure, of course, London's better. But like, it does feel like another city in Australia. So now I have experienced it and I've got a taste for it. Even though it's the other side of the world, it's not as like, it kind of settled the brain of how good is it or what actually is it. Europe, different story. I only got a brief taste of it. You know, I went through Frankfurt airport and I felt like that was my home. I think I told you this in China. Like, I was on a layover in Frankfurt, but just walking around, I felt I'm home. I don't know why. I just felt familiar. Never been there, never been to Germany. Have no German roots, but I don't know why. Ancestrally, it just felt like that was my home base.
You should come then.
I really want to go.
Christmas.
I really want to go.
If there's anyone out there who's doing a Christmas show, Cody's your man in Germany.
Thank you. And in German, please? Could you please recommend me in German?
Also wenn es da irgendjemanden gibt, der einen richtig geilen Jongleur braucht, Cody
I think that's the promo. That's all I'll upload. Whatever he said. I've just written down North Korea. Like you said that's one of the hottest comments that you always get.
Yeah, for sure.
Huge TikTok following.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable, 2.7 million followers. But the most frequent comment would be North Korea.
Yeah, everyone knows North Korea. Everyone knows that
it's the challenges of getting there.
Yeah, the challenges. It's the most isolated country in the world.
Yeah.
Like, it's very difficult to get in. And it actually used to be a lot easier. I have a lot of friends that visited North Korea before COVID because they have now been closed since COVID. And there are two options of visiting North Korea. So most people that visit every country in the world actually go to the DMZ, the demilitarized zone between South Korea and North Korea, and then you can step onto the North Korean side as well.
So cool.
Which is amazing, you know? And you can
and that's an iconic spot in itself.
And you can look into North Korea literally, and you see like the farmers and stuff. But I think the even cooler way is to actually take the train from China or fly from Beijing. You can also do that. But you can take the train into North Korea all the way up to Pyongyang, and then you can like go on a tour into North Korea. But sadly, since COVID, that has not been possible yet. But everyone is like waiting for them to open. So I have a friend actually who ran the marathon in Pyongyang. Good friend of mine.
So is that the backup plan? Is get good at running?
Well.
If that plan doesn't go well.
I mean, the marathon was cancelled now again for this year, but hopefully, like at some point, I'll be able to do it. Yeah.
That would be so funny if you get yourself into North Korea and you got to run.
Fun story. Yeah. My friend, like Jean-Marc Knoll from Switzerland. Yeah. He's Swiss-British, and he ran the marathon in North Korea. And he's probably the only person who went above the time limit, but still finished. So there's a cap of 4 hours for the marathon, which is insane. Like, it's really low, the cap, like for normal marathon events, like if you compare it to worldwide. And he was like, so there's checkpoints along the way. And he didn't make the last one by like some minutes.
Oh no.
So he was, the vans were already coming for him, like picking him up and whatever. Yeah. And then the race is supposed to be over. But he told me there was this one dude who was like, run, you only have like 3 miles left, just run. And then he ignored the van, he ran, and he finished at like 4 hours, 2 minutes. So he still got his time, he got his certificate and everything. And he's probably the only person ever to like overdo the time limit.
That's a nerve-wracking 2 minutes. In North Korea, that's 2 minutes that you don't want to...
If you want to come, they have a circus festival as well, you know?
Do you remember in China, the North Korean...
Delegation.
I
still have this business card.
I don't. I'm looking for it everywhere, just because no one believes me.
I took a photo somewhere.
Please, can you send me the photo? Because wasn't it like... It just said his name.
Yeah. He was like the director or something of the North Korean circus.
Yeah.
But it's very difficult to contact because you can't just go on WhatsApp and
that's what I'm saying. Like, I tell everyone, he hands out business cards, doesn't speak a word of English, just kind of gives you it and walks away in the dark. And you're like, what do I call it? It's in North Korean. Like, what do I do with this? But it was really
it's a freaking flex.
And
Imagine having this on your desk and like having a goal around or something. Like,
Dude, the North Korean. I can't believe I don't remember the North Koreans. At the parties and stuff.
Yeah.
Do you remember the Canadian and remember Spencer from the US had a birthday? And we all sang happy birthday in English.
Yeah.
And then I was on your table. You guys chimed in. I think the Spanish sang first.
Yeah.
Like the girling sang. Then the French would sing.
And then
the Italian sang, whatever.
And then
you guys sang in German. And then we're all waiting. No, but remember, I even remember kind of like, oh, boys. Like the whole table of North Koreans, like, what are they going to do kind of thing. Next minute, they had their own rhythm. They had their own birthday song. That was the coolest.
So cool.
And they were all around like taking selfies with iPhones.
Chill.
They were so chill.
Yeah, and like we were dancing with them.
We were dancing, having fun. They love Megan. Do you remember that vodka or wine that we were all getting very drunk off? Remember that really strong drink?
Yeah.
Megan was a bit drunk and walked around with a bottle and kept topping up everyone.
Oh, wow.
And the North Koreans would kind of like, way, every time she come around. And she's giving them more drinks and they're cheersing with her. And they love Megan. Kept getting photos with her hair, red hair. Megan like made them all drunk.
And they love drinking as
well. They love drinking.
It's insane.
They were really cool.
Yeah.
Really nice people.
For sure. Yeah.
Funny, had a good sense of humor.
Yeah.
And their act.
I remember that was insane. Yeah.
I can't explain it. I tell everyone.
Crazy. I mean, they won the gold medal as well, but
remember what I told you in the rehearsals? First rehearsal, it's just give them the gold. Just let them survive.
Yeah.
I don't care. I've seen enough. They won. They don't have to perform. Move on. Because that was so dangerous.
It was so dangerous, yeah.
Remember in the rehearsals and they're just like knocking each other out and then hanging?
Yeah, you can put in a video of the act.
I will. Because I can't explain it. You can't explain it. And then it's like Russian swing to the catcher.
And like trapeze and like...
Trapeze.
It's like
single
3
point
levels
trapeze,
kind of thing, yeah.
And then cradle act and then cradle to a crash mat, another trick to a crash mat. But you've got the flying net and the Russian swing here. And there was only that small bit to let...
Crazy stuff. I remember the communication was really interesting because we had those translator chains from North Korean to Chinese, and then our translator from Chinese to English, and depending on the country we had like 2 or 3.
Yeah, that
was so funny.
I actually remember when I did Belarus, the festival before, there was a North Korean team, but they were a different team, a high wire team.
Right.
But never got to really see them, never got to spend time with this lot. But on our hotel level, you'd get off at the elevator, no matter what the time, there was 2 North Korean security in suits.
Really?
Yeah, like at the door just to make sure, I guess, no one leaves or comes in, or everyone on this level has to be kind of accounted for who's here.
Wow.
So every time you get out of the lift, and there's 2 security guards at all times. Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah. So different lot, but that one was a bit more of like the stereotypes that I grew up, I guess. Like,
yeah, because China was pretty chill.
China was, they were awesome people.
You know how they have the stickers on their shirts always?
No.
Like of the 2 stickers, like of the supreme leaders?
Did they I never noticed that.
Yeah, but that's the thing, some of them took them off and no one cared. But like the official delegation, they always had the stickers on.
I never noticed that.
The artists, they're like obviously not in the act, but usually they're supposed to like wear them all the time. But no one really like...
I never noticed that.
Yeah.
Good observation. I didn't know that. That's North Korea.
That's actually a North Korean law from what I know. We'd have to look it up. But
I know you have to...
I think you have to always, like when you leave the country, have the 2 stickers of like the supreme leader and the deceased supreme leader.
Yeah, that experience, I can't believe I didn't write it down. But that birthday song, and I since met Spencer and Caitlin are touring with Blanc de Blanc here in Australia. And I met them recently to watch their show. And I did just say like, that is a memory I'll never forget. So thank you for that. That was unbelievable. About 6 or 7 different groups and nationalities all singing along. And little old Australia delegate, me, Megan and Jasmine just in the corner going like, well, we're English. Like all we can do is just an accent here. So like, cheers, like happy birthday. You know, true story. I mean, I guess we're doing the podcast now.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't even know you boys were going. Did you know I was going to be there?
No, I don't think so. I think we just met in China.
So when we met in the back door, was that complete surprise?
I think so, yeah.
Like
I didn't know of anyone else who was performing. Like, going to China, I didn't know.
Because I saw, this is like behind the scenes. I walked in, I didn't know there was 2 shows. I didn't know it's like show A and show B. I didn't know there was enough acts to make 2 shows. So I walk in the back door, and remember how tight and squishy it was? All I see is like clubs flying like quads. And because it's a big, large black curtain, and all I see is these clubs with high throws. And I remember looking to Megan and I went, uh-oh. Like I'm thinking, who is doing 7 clubs comfortably? Who's running 7? I look around, it's you boys just 5 club back crosses. Manuel was doing like 7 clubs at the time. And I'm thinking, let's just have the best time. I think you guys made me settled the second I saw you guys. I don't know why, because I thought it's just gonna be fun. We're gonna come up with good stories, good time. It's just gonna be more fun than stressful, and it ended up being.
I was very happy to see you. I was
loved
whoa, another juggler, it's Cody and me.
I loved it.
Because we had never met before. I
never met you.
It was the first time, but obviously like I knew you from the videos and everything, so it was great surprise.
But one of my best memories was after the show, we all had like, you guys were doing a practice in the hotel lobby, like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
And then I kind of joined in a little bit too. You were doing like an endurance game. At 2 a.m. they're doing 5 club back crosses for 4 minutes. It was ridiculous. But I joined in for my 15 seconds. And then you guys are just doing 7 clubs endurance. It was like 11 or 12. I'll never forget it. I filmed you guys, so if I find the video, I'll add it. Unbelievable. In the hotel lobby, middle of the night.
Yeah, I remember. It was
that
fun.
was one of the core memories.
Good thing about the Chinese hotels, they usually have very tall ceilings.
Very tall ceilings.
It was really fun. Like
I love that.
Good to
And buying suits? You boys all went off and bought suits.
That was so fun. Yeah, we wanted to buy some like new outfits for the upcoming shows. And so because it's a lot cheaper in China, we took our translator into the shopping malls and we went to a wedding shop basically where they go to like get the chicest outfits for the weddings, which for Chinese standards was very expensive. We paid like 200 quid per suit maybe, but compared to the quality that you get, like what you would pay in Austria or Germany, it was worlds of difference. So we
you guys
decided,
looked amazing.
Let's go for it. So we bought like 5 suits there and some private ones as well. Dominic and I got some matching shoes and stuff like that. It was so fun.
That was the best night because that was the night we were kind of just enjoying the night. We didn't 100%. Have any role to play.
Yeah, I remember with the
you had the
glasses.
Yeah.
That was so fun. That was so fun.
That was awesome.
Our
practice and the girls, bombarding it. That was unbelievable. That's what I've written down. All I've written down is China. We were One Direction because we were. There was the 4 of you guys and me. Yeah. It's the first time I've actually ever felt famous. Yeah. But you were proper famous over there with the. I've got that one video of me in the back, and I'm taking a photo with one lady, really nice, and then the friend goes like, "Thank you," and you look in the back, and you're surrounded by 35 girls, 30 to 40 girls, and then remember when you told them that you're. At the time, you have a partner, and they all at once went, "Oh, yeah!" Like that was the coolest.
Yeah, I remember you. Like I was asking, how do you say I have a girlfriend in Chinese? And I was like, 我有you. And then
they all went off, and then I'm there going like,
"He looked my way. Until this day, because
I was like hyping. I was doing this to the girls. I was going like, "Damn it, he's taken!" And then I think at one point I was saying, Luca, can I buy your undies? I know I was saying that.
Tell them I have a girlfriend. Good. How do I say I have a girlfriend in Chinese?
我有女朋友。
我有女朋友。Damn it! They're all deleting my WeChat now.
But you boys made that a memory that was a far better experience than it was going to be without you guys. So I do thank you for that.
Same with you.
Thank you for that. Scariest situation you faced would have been?
I mean, it was pretty scary. Yesterday, like 2 days ago, when I was in Papua New Guinea in Port Moresby.
Crazy.
So what they do in Port Moresby, they stop the cars to take the money illegally. And I was just walking along. I love walking. I walk like all the time wherever I go. And I knew it was going to be dangerous in Port Moresby. But I was like, I'm going to be fine. Why not? So I planned this like 56-minute walk through the city, back to the airport because it was my last day. So I walked and I got picked up by a police officer in a Jeep. And he was like showing me his police like certificate, whatever. Like, hey, I'm a police officer. Please get in. Like where you're about to head. Like it's super dangerous. Like please don't walk there. So I jumped into his Jeep and we talked a bit. And after like 5 minutes, we saw a like car robbery right in front of us. So what they do,
crazy.
they stop the cars, they slow down, and then if the opportunity arises, they usually take their gun and they like demand the phone, or in extreme cases maybe the car or something.
Yeah.
But primarily money, and they sometimes just take a little bit of money, but you never know. It's like very opportunistic crime there. So the police officer sitting in the Jeep, like next to the driver, had his huge gun like just by his feet. So what he did, he opened the door, went outside, shot, and they ran away. Right, and I was so scared in this situation because when someone fires a gun like 2 meters next to you, you're like, bloody hell, like what is happening? And people are screaming. It's like an actual like situation of conflict. People running away, like the kids at the market next by were like super scared. You could see, you know, and they're kind of used to it, you know. It's sad to say, but they're like used to gun violence, and it happens like all the time. But for me, it was like, whoa, like what the fuck? Like I was in the Jeep in the back seat.
You told me the Whoop numbers were the Whoop band.
Whoop fitness tracker. I had my highest heart rate that day on the Whoop, and I was literally just sitting in the car because I was so nervous. So what I did, like imagine this is the back seat, and I kind of like ducked down a little bit, still filming. I filmed.
Yeah, you showed me the video.
I filmed
because you're gonna upload.
I'm very well conditioned to film in those situations, but like I ducked down. And because I was really afraid. Imagine there would have been 2 other people in the bush behind us opening fire at us then, or saying like, oh, the police officer isn't watching right now, let's kill him. What would they have done? They would have obviously robbed us and the Jeep, or killed the driver or me or whatever. And I was so scared. But luckily for us, they ran away, and the police officer was shouting like, drop the money, or I'll shoot at you. And then they dropped the money that they took from the previous cars and they ran away. But scary, super scary. And then there's a lot of other like scary situations. Usually, like I'm very afraid of like disease stuff, you know, mosquitoes, malaria. When you travel to Africa, I'm very careful with that. I always feel like with humans, you can always try to find a way to like get yourself out of situations by just being friendly, just being chill with people. I'm a very de-escalating person usually, and that helps for sure. But it's difficult. Like Afghanistan, for example, now, like there was this one shooting on my street when I visited, and now Afghanistan, since the Taliban takeover, for visitors is a lot safer because the fighting isn't happening anymore. But like for the local population it's worse, but like before there was a lot of fighting and a lot of kidnappings. You don't have that anymore. But that was scary as well. Like when I landed in Kabul, I was like, what am I doing here, you know? Like, and it's heartbreaking. Like so many.
Because you were back on the Gold Coast, and you messaged me, and it's only a message that you could send. It's like, I just had a horrible day today at Papua New Guinea, so I'm probably just gonna have an early night. And I'm like, oh yeah, like as all of us have, like that's just normal up the road.
Maybe it's a little bit like
recency bias.
Yeah. Maybe there's some bias in
that.
Well,
touch wood that the rest goes smoothly.
Hopefully. I mean, now the Pacific Islands should be expensive, but hopefully they only take my money and not my life.
Yeah. I mean, I've written down here the Tonga and juggling. You told me yesterday. There's like a history with Tonga and juggling.
I can't wait for Tonga.
I know. So Tonga's
amazing.
After summer. It'll be after summer?
Yeah.
I can't wait to see.
I can't wait either. So Tonga,
it's a rich history.
Tonga is the only place in the world basically that has a proper juggling culture, and it's only the women that do it. And they only use the shower pattern. They don't do the cascade. It's only the shower. And there's this book from I don't know when exactly, like 1800s, where some bloke documented that apparently one woman was able to do a 9-nut shower. Can you imagine?
No
way! Freaking world record.
She's doing a 9-nut shower.
Apparently, by modern standards, that's a world record. Like
without a doubt.
Exactly. And the question then is, was it like just some bloke who knew nothing about juggling, nothing. Like when I juggle 5 balls, people will say, "Oh, it's 7."
Do you think, Luca? I don't know if this joke's made its way to Europe, but in German, do you ever get a sarcastic bloke that walks by and goes? Like he'll juggle 3 balls and he'll go, I'm doing 5 balls and do this. Do you think she might have been running 7? No, I'm not even joking. Being a lady. Because you know how many times someone will go, I'm juggling 7 balls and it's 5, and it's like classic male joke. Do you think he saw 7 showers and maybe 2 extra nuts?
Potentially.
That's all I'm saying, because 9 makes no sense, but if she was running 9, if there's a rich juggling culture,
But
It
imagine,
might be true.
imagine 7 nuts. Even in 7 nut shower, even
couldn't
that could
do-
possibly be a world record, depending on how long they have it
I
for.
went to Fiji
Like,
and juggled for the kids, and I just juggled rocks. Impossible. So her doing nuts.
Yeah. And it's insane because even nowadays, so I have a friend in Tonga who lives there now for 1 year. And I told him about it, like, hey, there's this juggling culture. He never heard of it. I went and said, like, hey, please go and ask your host family, do they know how to juggle? Like, ask the girls, ask the women. Every single one in the family knew how to juggle.
Wow.
And also only in the shower pattern. So every single girl on the island almost can do 3-ball shower, like 3-nut shower. And it's like used in ceremonies and everything. And like some people train further and they do 4 or 5 nuts, but I cannot possibly imagine 9, you know, like
No,
9
nine's
nut shower.
unbelievable. How's she holding them?
Exactly.
How's she collect?
Have
That's
no idea.
impressive.
And I'd love to, because I have my project trying to juggle in every country in the world.
Amazing.
I'd love to juggle with them.
Well, you have to do a shower with them.
Yeah,
You have to.
exactly. Imagine. But I hope it's not like culturally inappropriate, because it's really like only the girls
women.
juggle, like only the women. It's gonna be funny.
I mean, they're gonna think that you're gonna be a superstar.
Imagine me
you are
coming and
going to
doing
be
a
a
6-ball
superstar.
shower, like holding it in.
If she really did 9 nuts showers,
Yeah.
she should have a statue at every IJA festival.
Yeah.
Like, Gatto who? Just find out her name. Find out. She'd make top 40 jugglers. For doing 9 nuts, she'd make top 40 jugglers.
Yeah.
Did you ever make that list? Top 40 jugglers?
Yeah.
Yeah. What number?
I think the highest, I did it, I think 5 years or something, 5 or 6 years, but not in the past years. So I think, I'm not sure, maybe 16 or so was the highest.
I'm always 41. No,
You've never been in?
What? The stupidest list
Oh
ever.
shit.
No.
But yeah, it's mainly also about posting videos. You should post more videos.
No
More
offense to
juggling.
anyone on the list, but yeah, it's a stupid list.
Yeah. It's a popularity contest.
Like, of course,
you know, it's
Spencer
about, like,
deserves
Yeah.
top spot.
No, but
Like,
it's
the fact
about
that-
like if you post shit tons of videos, you'll have better chance of getting it.
Yeah. I've written down, this is more for me rather than like anyone watching. I'm a sucker for currency. I use them for like golf coins and that. What's the best currency? What's the
Ooh.
coolest like coin or note out there?
Good question. Usually the islands have really beautiful coins, not
Yeah.
just here in the Pacific, but when you go to like the Maldives or those tropical places with a lot of like vegetation and exotic animals,
Yeah.
they put them on the currency and
That's
it's beautiful. Like Maldives, Costa Rica probably has the most beautiful one for me. Costa Rica is beautiful. They have like this parrot on there or something.
Yeah.
But the Maldives as well, they put like those shells on and it's
Awesome.
super beautiful.
That was for me. Because I thought the Belarusian coins were awesome. And then my favorite coin I've ever seen, coin chat, the £2 coin. Is that the one with the silver and gold?
Yeah.
£2?
2 pounds, yeah. I think so, yeah.
Silver in gold? Wow. I think that's the best coin you can get.
Wow.
Coin chat's done. I just written down last minute because I just saw your story. Yesterday, I took Luca on like a animal search in Australia. We found kangaroos. Well, he was looking for snakes. I didn't want to find a snake. He was looking for the snakes and like
Still
kicking
have to find a snake.
crazy,
Come on.
like lifting wood logs on a bushwalk to try and find snakes and spiders. But then I'm telling him about toads, and I was like, yeah, we got toads everywhere. And then last night there was one in the front yard. And Luca's like gone right up and gone to kind of like just be like, hey buddy, and get a closer look with his phone light. And I'm like, Luca, you can't touch them. I'm pretty sure they're poisonous. And I wasn't confident that they were poisonous, but I've just always been told they're poisonous to animals. So I was like, you can't pat them, I don't think. And then you're like, oh really, you can't pat toads? And I'm like, no, you can't. They've got like poison glands behind their ears. And you're like, oh, like you're a bit sketchy. And then we come inside and our Mick in the house was like, yeah, as a young boy, I patted one once and like, frothing at the mouth 2 weeks later, hospital really sick, la 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 la. And I'm scrolling, you didn't say anything, weird. And I'm scrolling through your stories this morning because you're a few days behind. You're in the Solomon Islands and I'm pressing your story and you've gone up to a cane toad and you're patting its back. And I was like, I looked at you, I'm like, look at you patting cane toads. And you go, yeah, that's why I was a bit quiet when you were talking about the poison. I was like,
You taught me a lesson. You taught me a lesson.
But I think you're fine because you patted his spine, not behind his neck. So just to think, if you're an inch away, you would have been in the Solomon Islands sick.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, just don't pat animals. Like, especially here, if you see an animal, just don't pat it. Like,
Yeah, I need to learn my lesson.
simple rule.
Because as a kid, we had this forest behind our house, and like I was always like trying to get frogs and like play with frogs and
Yeah, but that's Austria. This is Australia. That's just. Just found this completely last minute game, found this in the bookstore. It's 501 must visit natural wonders. And if anybody I know on earth has a shot at a random page.
Okay, I would say you flip a random page and I try to tell you as much as possible about the place or the country or whatever comes
Because
up.
there's what, 24 countries that you haven't been to?
Yeah, let's put it like that. I'm gonna try to tell you a story from that place. Like,
great.
Let's see.
This is the perfect podcast. It's just whip a page and then you just tell me about. Have you been to Greenland?
No!
The one page! You've not done Greenland?
Well,
I've just realized because
it's technically not on the list because it's part of Denmark, but I am really keen on going to Greenland this year.
So technically you have. You've been to Denmark. Okay.
But not Greenland. No. Wow.
In your defense, that is just a floating ice glacier thing. So like
Ilulissat, one of the biggest cities in Greenland.
But that's a city.
Yeah, Ilulissat.
You still had a story for it, and I didn't even know. So I've opened it to the one page that you haven't been to, which is crazy. Okay. Because we practiced this, and I opened 5 pages, and you told me everything about it. Tell me when to stop, Luca.
Stop.
Bang. Where the fuck is this?
Wait, what?
Have you been to? Where is the Giant's Causeway or Loch Ness? Oh, Northern Ireland. You've been.
Never been to Northern Ireland.
Fraud.
It's
but Northern Ireland is their own, no?
Yeah, but no.
Oh no, it's UK.
But the only place in the UK where I haven't been is Northern Ireland. Like I went literally anywhere. I was like, where's Scotland, England, Ireland, not Northern Ireland.
Do I cut this? We're 2 from 2. 501 things, and we're 2 from 2.
Greenland and Northern Ireland. Wow.
Okay.
Can't believe
we did.
that.
We practiced 5, and you nailed it. Okay. You picked that.
Stop.
Bang. The Atlas Mountains. They extend through Morocco, Algeria, and Tunisia.
Yeah, I've driven through there. That was fun. Like
1 from 2.
I went along the northern coast of Morocco in a bus, which was really interesting. And
so
the
you
bus
drove
broke down
along that road?
Yeah, basically, it's pretty scary because it has a really deep drop to the floor. So it's pretty high up and it's a bit scary. But yeah, we went on this long bus, and then the bus broke down. And I remember one thing that they did. So the bus broke down, and they didn't have the warning triangle there. Like, it's not very busy, but they still, like, by law have to put something on.
Yeah.
So they took a water bottle.
They just put a water bottle.
They just put a water bottle like 200 meters away.
Be careful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was really funny.
That's good.
That was around there.
That's a very Australian thing. That's something we would definitely do, like, no hazards or anything, and we just go put, like, a thong out on the road and just be like, yeah, like, just thumbs up, just be careful.
Right. Stop.
That's quick and easy. Mount Rainier National Park in the USA.
Well, I've done the USA. I've not been to this national park, but
all I know is that was a beautiful volcano, like beautiful picturesque volcano, and then it blew out, and now it's pretty ugly. I mean, it's beautiful, but it's like...
Yeah, but the US is a country I really want to explore. Like, I've been only like 3 times, and story time now, I wasn't able to enter the US for the last 2 years because I traveled to like Syria and Iraq, Iran, like all those like blacklist countries. So I can no longer enter the US visa free, or I couldn't. But now I got my visa, so I can finally go, which is super important.
A US trip.
Because I have to go to Hawaii first to do the islands, some of them. So I finally got my visa. Literally the day I flew out from Germany, I picked up my visa, and I'm so happy I can finally go to the US again.
Did we touch on the space thing? I think I started talking about it and then we never did.
Yeah, I don't think so.
No, we never finished because the camera died.
Yeah.
Okay, the camera died. With COVID, kind of, you were definitely on track to be the youngest to ever go to every country. COVID's definitely put a 3-4 year spanner in that. There's some places you still can't go
to be honest, it only really started with COVID that I was actually going for the goal, because all of a sudden all the shows were cancelled. You know, so I was juggling.
That was in my notes. Look.
Yeah.
Luca, the first question that I've just remembered. At what number country, or at what point did you say you're going to do it all?
Yeah, no, that was with COVID basically, because I was living in Austria with the Junglissimos, and then all of a sudden, like, all the shows got cancelled during COVID, so I was like, what should I do? And then I was like, well, let's just travel a bit, try to focus on making like videos, and it was difficult during COVID, lots of PCR tests and everything.
Yeah.
But I kind of made it work. I spent a lot of time then in England with Sophia. I spent a lot of time in South Africa with some of Sophia's family and whatever. It was
So I'm fascinated. So I mean,
But yeah.
you grew up like Central Europe, so of course
Yeah.
you would have ticked off, say, 10 to 15 countries really quick and
Yeah,
easily.
yeah.
But at what number did you actually go, no, I'm doing this?
Well-
or was it the following that you started getting and the people along the way? Do you mind?
No, so I was traveling with. I was traveling with Jan, like in the early days, a little bit
Yeah.
around Europe and then a bit like abroad and Asia and whatever. And so, and then like things like China, you know, the Chinese
Yeah.
Circus Festival, I told them, I don't want to go back to Austria. Buy me a flight to Uzbekistan. And they paid like the
You
Circus
said
Festival.
that, hey,
Yeah.
because they said that they'll return us to anywhere in the
Exactly,
world. So you
exactly.
said, let's just
I
tick
could
off
have
a
said,
random
I could have
place.
said, please get me to Tuvalu. Although that would be pushing it. But no,
where's Tuvalu?
I went to Uzbekistan afterwards, and then it really got me the like traveling bug kind of thing. I wanted to see more, because my first flight was
Wow.
when I was 14, you know, 14 or 15. I had my first flight ever.
Wow.
Because my family never traveled with me, like only to the German North Sea.
Yeah.
And never like anywhere else. So for me it was really exciting, and like I always as a kid I dreamt of like going to Spain, like some of my classmates,
Yeah.
and I was like, I want to go to Spain. And then at some point like I had the freedom to go, and I really
That's
tried to
crazy.
go for it.
So it was
And
quite
then
a recent
60
pursuit.
yeah, like 60 70 countries I had visited when I was like, I want to visit every country in the world. And that I decided like during COVID then. And then it was pretty difficult, but the first like round about 120 countries or something can be very easy if you try to visit every country in the
Yeah.
world. But then at some point you'll get to the ones that are very expensive and
Yeah.
very difficult, and
Yep.
yeah.
And now you're here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe at some point once I finish every country.
Yeah, well, that's what I was saying yesterday. It was like, how cool would it be? You've done it. Because you said there's not many...
It's like
You
250
said
people or something.
There's more people that have gone to space.
Yeah,
than,
like nearly 3 times as many. Like
Yeah.
I think 650 or something have
and
been
then
to
my
space.
brain ticks and goes, so be one of the 250, be the youngest, and then do space. And like it actually was a joke. And then you started saying like there's potentially in the future a way. And like with this Blue Origin, with Elon, with all these, with Virgin Galactic,
Yeah.
there's like a real shot. And with your following, with your Forbes for 30, the people that you
Hopefully
can
at
meet,
some
like, that would
Forbes
be
summit there will be
unbelievable.
some person. Maybe I'll get to meet Elon and give him a hug, and hopefully manage to sneak onto one of the rockets to go to space, to become the first man, like first human ever in history to go to space and see every country in the world. Like that would be crazy. I don't even think there has been someone.
I just keep thinking, I cannot stop thinking, when you're old, the stories you're going to have, the stories you have already, but I can't, like, when you do it all, with this travel bug, with this pursuit, with this motivation and dedication, you are going to come up with something else to do.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I definitely need a base again. You know, I'm just
Yeah.
traveling non-stop,
Yeah.
and I really. So I plan to move to Spain this year. Hopefully, once I finish every country, maybe slightly before already. I'm not sure, but
amazing.
for now it's like it's really expensive. Like in the last
Yeah.
like quarter of all the countries. So I'm really trying to just somehow like get by to finish every country in the world.
Yeah.
And then I have all my life to do the next chapter, but to like close that chapter and be like, okay, I've traveled to the hard places now.
Yeah.
You know, now I can like focus on something a bit more. easy
I
again.
wish, you mentioned last night that a podcast might be in the future.
Yeah.
As a fan of just general podcasting, as a fan of yourself, please do. And just ramble, because I am glued in.
Amazing.
The chat we had last night for hours and hours, I was locked in, and I just shake my head at you because, yeah, unbelievable stories, unbelievable memories, and like, and how cool is it to look at this book and know that you've...
This is more than natural wonders though. Like
Yeah, that's
I really want to go to this place. You know,
Where is that place?
This is in
looks like-
in China, in central western China, and this is the place that inspired the Avatar movies.
I was going to say it looks like Avatar.
Yeah, this is a real place. Like it's based on this place basically.
See, like, you're just a walking encyclopedia. Encyclopedia? Is that it?
Yeah,
Yeah. People just think I guess I'm like just a random host. I don't think even... I mean, the people that listen are just friends and family, like, not the biggest base.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Your notification, like heat you get from a notification from a fresh drop, don't expect with this. If I tag you in this, just expect like a slow trickle, and most of the last names are like Harrington. Like, I've got a golf account, a juggling account, the podcast account. I've got a few accounts, and most of them are me. Just do expect a slower trickle.
Oh, cool. You haven't followed me for the 4th time.
Yeah. After China, I remember saying I would love to have you on the podcast when every time I get these waves of starting it up. But to actually be right here and we're doing it in person, I wouldn't have believed it would have happened. Surreal. You're here. Enjoy your rest of your time. Thank you so much. Much
amazing.
And,
same to you.
Yeah. I'm excited to see.
Thank you so much.
We need to have like a big online party when you've ticked off all the countries. I think 100%. We should do that.
I'm gonna have like 5
open like a global party.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. I'll join.
It's gonna be great.
I'll stream this.
Amazing.
Awesome. Luca.
Thank you so much for having me on the podcast. Amazing.
Last name again, please.
Fertmanges.
At the German travel guy.
Yeah.
Thanks so much. Absolutely loved it.
Amazing. Me too.
Appreciate your time.